playoff race is well and truly on over in the Championship as Huddersfield Town make a concerted push for maybe even the automatic spots. We'll take a look at what's going on in the Championship and that's coming at you next. Video today. We look forward to match number 35, I believe, over the Championship, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe button and get back up to date with all things Rovers related, Championship related, world football related. We got it all here, boys, under one Rooski. Yes, I have no clue, realistically no clue as to who's going to be in the playoffs at the end of the season. I'm dumbfounded. Of course, I'm gobsmacked with the form for Rovers at the moment. As of course, we've fallen now from second all the way down to fifth now, and of course by the end of the weekend we could be well and truly out of the playoffs. Is of course wide open. Of course, we'll take a look at it, all of it in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs, the other Patreons. Thank you very much, of course, behind the scenes. But anyway, let's jump in the deep end, of course, and revisit the weekend's games, or the midweek games, sorry. Of course, look forward to the weekend's games. So kick it all off, it was Bristol City against Coventry, 2-1 win for Coventry. Back in the race, aren't they? Back into ninth for that, of course, within 4 points of the playoffs and games in hand for Coventry. Kick it off for Middlesbrough, 2-1 winners of West Brom. They're, of course, in 7th right now, games in hand as well on the chasing pack for them. Kick it off for Hull City, did lose to Barnsley, of course. They're on form right now. Barnsley grinding out some results at long last. Preston, of course, 0-0 draw against Forest. Kick it on forward, Swansea City against Bournemouth postponed. They'll do that again. Reading, of course, 2-1 winners over Birmingham. Of course, Paul Ince with his first win in management in over, I don't know, probably a decade, 8 years or something. I think that was the quote. Meanwhile, Derby County, 2-1 loss against Millwall. Millwall, of course, in form at the moment, up to 12th, and they're also within striking distance of the playoffs. Fulham just a 2-1 win over Peterborough on that one. Of course, Huddersfield 2-1 winners, late goals in this one to give them the 3 points and, of course, move up into 4th in the table. They could go second. They could go second this weekend. Wow. I mean, QPR are the same. Left it late against QPR, 2-1 winners for them. And of course, Sheffield United did also a monster favour with a 1-0 win over Rovers. And don't want to talk about that. Meanwhile, of course, Stoke City did lose in the Nathan Jones derby, 2-1 win for Luton to move within touch. They're in it. They're in the bloody mix, guys. They're in the bloody mix. Wow. The mixer, shall we say. So at the top of the table, Fulham lead the charge, of course, as you were. Of course, Bournemouth stacking up with the games in hand, but they haven't got the points to the board. Of course, level on points with, not level on points, but a couple of points clear of QPR. Of course, QPR taking on Rovers this weekend. It could level out for Rovers if we somehow grind out a bloody win. If we can get an arse goal, an own goal, a ghost goal, any goal, just to get that that vibe back, because we need it after a very, very horrible February. It's just been disgusting. Let's go back. I wasn't done there. So yeah, Huddersfield up to 4th right now. Sheffield United in 6, games in hand on Rovers as well. And down the foot table, Barnsley. What's going on down there? 20 points for them. They could make a push now. So realistically, it's quite tight in that bottom 3. It looks at the moment still Derby, Peterborough, and Barnsley going to go down. Of course, Reading in the hot water, Hull City in the hot water. But have they got enough to get over the line? We'll see about that as the season unfolds. Let's take a look at our prediction leaderboard then, shall we? Of course, take about Eamon Hussein, 7 points on the board. Barney Blackwood up there, and a whole host of years with second, with Russell Frost, Winky, Hans Worst, Damien Evan, Deepak the Great, Fedor Simpson, and Joachim Jackson kicking ass and taking names in, of course, the second spot there. But what about the mini leaderboard for the second half of the season? Shane O'Donnell kicking ass and taking names with 59 points on the board. Well done to you, Deepak the Great is in second, and Hans Worst makes the power 3. Of course, next time you see me, we'll bring you bang up to date with, of course, the Championship leaderboard, the Monster leaderboard, and who won the predictor of the month for the month of February. It's been a shit month for me. But anyway, let's get into the next round of matches, kicking all off with, hopefully, Bournemouth getting back to are they playing? I'm struggling to Stoke, that's why I can't see it with them whenever the Stoke's on here. So Bournemouth will be locking horns up against Stoke over at the Vitality, of course, taking place, I believe, on the 26th of Feb, of course, locking horns as well. So Bournemouth, of course, coming into action, played Stoke 10 times since 2003, 5 wins to Bournemouth, 4 wins to Stoke, and 1 draw. Just 1 defeat past 4 for Bournemouth right now, 50% form, and because of Stoke side, who of course just 1 defeat past 6 for them, 58% form for them at the moment. Of course, last round over in Bournemouth was a 2-0 win for Stoke back in May 2021. The reverse fixture, of course, in Stoke this season, back in October, was a 1-0 win for Bournemouth as well. The home side's only won once in the past 6 out of these games, and that was when Bournemouth beat Stoke in Bournemouth. Kicking on forward, of course, Bournemouth pick up a 2-1 win over over Blackpool way back, and of course, February the 12th. Meanwhile, Stoke picked up a 2-1 loss against Luton Town on this one. I've got basic odds for this one. Of course, the basic odds go in favour of Bournemouth on this one. They are comfortable favourites on this one to take to the house. I've gone with them as well with a 2-0 win, of course, over home. Next, of course, we have Birmingham City up against Huddersfield Town. Of course, in form, Huddersfield Town, the team who's just sneakily, beakily going about their business. Played 30 times in 1995, just 1 minute 6-4. Birmingham right now, 33% form up against the Huddersfield side, who, of course, unbeaten in the last 6, 83% form. Over the last 30, did I say this? 10 wins for Birmingham, 8 was Huddersfield, and 12 draws, of course. Kicking off forward, last time around over at St Andrews, it was a 2-1 win for Birmingham back in October 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, in Huddersfield this season was a 0-0 draw back in October. In fact, the home side's only won once to the last, 7 or 8 games here, of course, and that was when Birmingham beat Huddersfield last time around at St Andrews. Birmingham picking up a 2-1 loss against Reading last time around. Huddersfield picking up a 2-1 win over Cardiff, and they're doing their business slowly, sneakily about it. Well done to them. 70-10 for Birmingham, 94 is your draw, and 70-10 is your Huddersfield. Quite tight on the bookies on this one. I'm going with the draw myself, but again, keeping the unbeaten run going, of course, will be the difference makers between them at the end of the season. Next, of course, we have my boys up against QPR. We'll have a watch along for this one. It's early doors for me, 7:30. Get the coffee in my veins very, very early on that one. And again, Rovers are wank atrocious. So we'll have a watch along. We'll have a preview. We might have a vlog. We might have a reaction from the guys who are, of course, going to go to the game as well, the lucky bastards. But anyway, played 28 times in 93, of course. 2 teams out of form here. Very, very much so. Of course, Rovers coming to this winning 15 of the 28, 5 wins for QPR and 8 draws. Of course, Rovers, though, just 1 win 6 for them, 33% form. Up against QPR side, also 1 win 6, 33% form for them at the moment. Kicking on forward, though, last time round over at Ewood Park was a 3-1 win for Rovers. And, of course, we did play each other at Loftus Road back in October. It was a 1-0 win for QPR. So the home side has pretty much won this game. The only alteration to that was a 2-1 win for Rovers way back in, of course, April 2019. Meanwhile, Rovers come to this on the back of a 1-0 loss against Sheffield United and haven't scored in, 5-6 games. It's been I've forgotten what a goal looks like. The last time we scored was back in the 24th of Jan. Meanwhile, QPR comes to this on the back of a 2-1 win over Blackpool as well. Rovers, of course, will be slight favourites on this one, but I wouldn't put your money on it whatsoever. I've gone with a draw here, 0-0 draw in the end to take it to the house. Kicking on forward, it will be Blackpool up against Reading over at Bloomfield Road, of course. Tom Ince used to manage Blackpool, I believe. So it's the Paul Ince derby, of course. Played each other 13 times, 8-4 wins for Blackpool, 6 wins for Reading, and we got 3 draws on this one. Kicking on forward, I'm on a second. Let me just get this moving. Kicking on forward, of course, Blackpool coming to us just 1 win 6 for them, 42% form for them at the moment. Kicking on forward, though, Reading unbeaten the last 3 now, 42% form for them as well. Of course, locking horns over at Bloomfield Road last time around. Over at Bloomfield Road, it was in the league. It was a 1-1 draw back in, of course, April 2015. The reverse fixture, though, at the Matchday was a 3-2 win for Blackpool way back in October. Coming at you, though, Blackpool picking up a 2-1 loss against QPR. Of course, Reading picking up a 2-1 win over Birmingham last time around. The odds, though, for this one, what do we have on this? Of course, Blackpool coming at you at 11-10 on for the victory, 5-2 is your, and 16-5 is your win. We're quite tight on the bookies on this one. Going to go with a 2-1 win, though, for Blackpool to take it to the house. Kicking on forward, it'll be Cardiff. They're going to be taking on Fulham over in Wales. Of course, Cardiff been on a bit of a good run, but of course fluffed their lines midweek. Played each other 18 times, these two sides. Of course, 5 wins for Cardiff, 7 wins for Fulham, and 6 draws at the moment. Just 1 win 4 for Cardiff right now, 42% form. Against the Fulham side, who've just lost once to the past 4 for them, 58% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time around over in Wales, it was a 2-1 win for Fulham. That was in the playoff championships, of course, back in July 2020. The reverse fixture over at Craven Cottage was a 2-0 win for Fulham as well. Fulham coming to us on the back of a 2-1 win over Peterborough. Cardiff did lose to Huddersfield last round. The odds for this one, Cardiff 92 for the victory, 13-8 on is your Fulham. Of course, 3-1 is your draw. Going to go with a 2-0 win for Fulham here. Sets up Rovers next week over at Craven Cottage, where of course we will get thumped 25-0. Kicking off forward, it'll be Coventry. They'll be taking on Preston over at the Rico. Now these two sides, of course, play each other 30 times in 2001. 3 wins to Coventry, 17 wins to Preston, and 10 draws. So Coventry don't like playing Preston, of course. Just 1 defeat though in the past 5 for Coventry. They're on a bit of a form right now up against the Preston side, who have just lost once to the past 6. 58% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time around though, over at the Rico was the 1-0 win for Preston back in April 2021 in the Championship. The reverse fixture though at the Deepdale, of course, back in October, it was a 2-1 win for Preston as well. So Preston 5 on the bounce against Coventry. Can they make it 6? Coventry, though, 2-1 winners over Bristol City. Last time around, Preston pick up a 0-0 draw against Forest. Last time around, the odds, though, for this one, 11-10 on is your Coventry, 23-10 is your draw, 10-3 is your away win. That's Preston. Going to go with another draw here. Of course, keep the unbeaten run going for Preston. Kicking off was Barnsley. They're going to be taking on Middlesbrough over at Elkwell. Of course, Barnsley are on a good bit of form for them at the moment when you consider their recent form. But they're coming up against Middlesbrough, who are pretty decent at the moment. Of course, played 24 times in 1993. 8 was at Barnsley, 12 was at Middlesbrough, and 4 draws, of course. Barnsley, they're winning 2 of the last 3. 33% form. Up against the Middlesbrough side, just lost one to the past 6, 75% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time around over at Oak Grove was a 2-0 win for Barnsley. And Barnsley have actually won 3 of the last 5 against Middlesbrough. Of course, looking very, very good for them across the competitions. Meanwhile, Barnsley pick up a 2-0 over Hull for them. That was on the road as well. Picking on forward though. Middlesbrough pick up a 2-1 win over West Brom. That was, of course, both in midweek. The odds though for this one, Barnsley coming at you 60-5 for the victory, 2017 on as your Middlesbrough, and 30-5 as your draw. I'd like to say something about Barnsley, but I just can't see it. 2-1 win for Middlesbrough to take to the house. In for Millwall up against Sheffield United, of course, also pretty good and lucky and sneaky little bastards themselves. Play each other over at the Den. Play each other 26 times in 904. 11 wins for Millwall, 10 wins for Sheffield United, and we've got 5 draws. Of course, she's 1 defeat past 6 games for Millwall right now, 75% form. I'm against the Sheffield United side, unbeaten in the last 6, 83% form for them as well. Last round out of the Den, it was in the league, was a 3-2 win for Sheffield United. That was back in September 2018. The reverse fixture, of course, this season at Bramall Lane was, of course, a 2-1 win for Millwall, of course, back in October. Meanwhile, Millwall pick up a 2-1 win over Derby County. That's 3 wins on the bounce for them. Sheffield United pick up a 1-0 win over Borough. Blackburn Rovers, of course, and clean sheets for the last 5 games. Goodness gracious me. Look at the odds for this one. Then Millwall 11-5 for the victory, 9-4 is your draw, and 13-10 is your Sheffield United. Type 1 this one. Going to go with Millwall here. I just think they are playing too good a football, and of course Sheffield United still got a bit of injuries, and I think they'll be they rode their luck last time around, and of course the suspension from the game against Rovers. Kicking off forward it is the Hatters up against Derby, of course, at Kenilworth Road. Now these two sides of course play each other 15 times in 1993, 4 wins for Luton Town, 6 wins for Derby, and 5 draws. Just 1 defeat though in the past 6 for Luton right now, 83% form. Up against the Derby side, of course, 1-2 lost 2 of the last 4, 42% form over the last 6. Last time around at Kenilworth Road was a 2-1 win for Luton back in September 2020. The reverse fixture at Pride Park back in, of course, October was a 2-2 draw as well. Derby picking up a loss against Millwall, and of course Luton pick up a 2-1 win over Stoke last time around. The odds for this one, Luton Town 11-10 for the victory, 12-5 is draw, and 10-3 is your Derby County. Going to go with a 2-0 win for Luton Town. They look the real deal, guys. Beware of the Hatters. Kicking off Forest up against Bristol City, who have been on a good bit of run themselves, but of course found out midweek. Played each other 30 times in 1983, 10 wins for Forest, 9 wins for Bristol City, and 11 draws. Of course, just 1 defeat though in the past 6 games for Forest right now, 67% form. Up against the Bristol City side, 1-2 lost 2 of the last 4, 42% form for them as well. Last time around though, over at City Ground was a 2-1 win for Bristol City back in October 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, over at Thrashton Gate back in, of course, October this season was a 2-1 win for Forest. Forest coming to on the back of a draw against Preston. In fact, back-to-back draws for them. Meanwhile, Bristol City did lose to Coventry last round. Their last away game was a 3-1 loss against Swansea. Kicking on forward though, Forest picking up a 10-7 on for the victory, 14-5 is draw, and 4-1 is your Bristol City on this one. Forest will win this one surely. 3-1 win for them. Back to winning ways. New manager bounce, of course, and it is Grant McCann or Gavin McCann, or whatever the heck his name is. He's taken on his old team, Hull City. Wow. It's the McCann derby. Played each other 10 times on 4, 3 wins for Peterborough, 5 wins for Hull, and 2 draws, of course. Peterborough without a win in 5 now for 25% form. Up against the Hull City side, who I think are in trouble here. 17% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time out over at Posh, it was a 3-1 win for Hull back in League One in March 2021. The reverse fixture, of course, at the KCOM was a 2-1 win for Peterborough as well. Can they do the double over Hull this coming weekend? Hull picking up a 2-0 loss against Barnsley. And of course, Peterborough picking up a narrow 2-1 loss against Fulham as well. Look at the odds. So this one's 8-5 is your Peterborough, 7-4 is your Hull, and 9-4 is your draw. I've gone with a 1-0 win for Posh. New manager bounce. Yes, indeed. And then finally, it's West Brom up against Swansea. Of course, that'll be on Monday night. That's right. Played each other 22 times in 2008. 8 wins for the Baggies, 10 wins for the Swans, and 4 draws, of course. West Brom come to this, haven't won the last 6 games. In fact, lost 5 of the last 6. That only highlight was a draw against Rovers, who are shit right now. Meanwhile, Swansea come to this on the back of a 2 wins and 2 defeats in the past 4 games. 33% form for them at the moment. Of course, last round, at the Hawthorns, it was a 5-1 win for West Brom. That was, of course, back in December 2019. The reverse fixture in Wales this season was a 2-1 win for Swansea. In fact, the away side has only won once of the last 6 games between these two sides, both home and away, and that was when West Brom beat Swansea in Wales back in November 2018. West Brom picked up a 2-1 loss against Middlesbrough. Of course, Swansea picked up a loss against Sheffield United last time around. The odds though, 5-4 on is your West Brom, 4-1 is your away win, that's Swansea, and 12-5 is your draw. 2, I want to win for West Brom. They'll get the first win for me with Stevie Bruce. All eyes on them on Monday night. That's of course my picks on it. Be sure to get your own picks as well. EFL/Championship. Of course, I'll see you whenever we come back around. Again, when we do come back around, we'll have the winners of the prediction of the month award. The master leaderboard will be revealed, and of course we'll go over the results of the past weekend. But that's it. Smash the thumbs up, smash the subscribe. See you soon for the next one. Of course, for now, we're done.